I hope that we're going to have a deal for peace. If accepted by Hamas, this proposal calls for the release of all remaining hostages. To ensure the success of this effort, my plan calls for the creation of a new international oversight body, the Board of Peace.
If this international body succeeds, we will have permanently ended the war.
Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Trump, a historic day here at the White House. Joining us now, the Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff. Thanks for the time.
My pleasure, Brett.
How do you characterize this day?
Epic. Epic, really groundbreaking. And the president wants to see an overall peace. It's not just about Gaza. It's about how this might percolate into all other areas in the Middle East and what it's going to achieve, maybe even percolate into Russia, Ukraine.
It's just the early hours here, but we've gotten word that Hamas has been briefed. Official telling us that Qatar's prime minister, Egypt's intelligence chief just met with Hamas negotiators, shared the 20-point plan. Hamas negotiators said they would review it in good faith and provide a response. Do you have any sense yet from that side?
No, but I think I don't have a sense yet, but I'll speak to the Prime Minister Mohammed, tonight. We've talked often throughout the day today, and I'm sure it's General Hassan from Egypt who you're referring to, and I'll speak to him as well. But I think that sounds like a very positive initial reaction for a group that hasn't really had time to study our plan.
I mean, speaking about Qatar, there was this moment in the Oval Office, and the Israelis tweeted it out, the phone call with the Israeli Prime Minister and the Qatari Prime Minister, in which they made this call. And he says, Mr. Prime Minister, I want you to know that Israel regrets that one of your citizens was killed in our strike. I want to assure you that Israel was targeting Hamas, not Qataris. I also want to assure you that Israel has no plan to violate your sovereignty again in the future. I mean, that's a big moment.
I mean, I thought that was, I was there for the call, Brett, and I thought, wow, this is so historic. There's an Israeli Prime Minister communicating directly with the Qatari Prime Minister, and they're there to make amends. They're there to explain what happened, to apologize, and to hopefully move on from there. And it was a really positive and uplifting call.
You've dealt with all of these figures in that region. You know how tenuous this can be. One step forward, two steps back.
Yes.
You feel this one is different?
I do, because we have so much widespread support from all of the Gulf Coast Arab countries. We have widespread support from the Europeans. I just left a meeting with the British, talked to the French today. So we have a lot of support for the plan, a lot of buy-in. Do we have some details to work out? Yes, but you know President Trump as well as I do. With that indomitable spirit of his, everyone's going to be pushed by him, and I think we're going to get to the finish line.
How much did he have to push Bibi Netanyahu?
I think Bibi is strong for his country, and the president has a great respect for that. But we work, Jared Kushner and I, and under the leadership of Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
Former senator, yeah.
Former senator, but he's the greatest Secretary of State, so I'm going to use that title. We've been working all weekend on this. And so the Israelis have bought into this. As the Prime Minister said, they want to do it the easy way first. So no threats. Let's see if we can peacefully get everybody home on both sides, by the way, on the Palestinian side as well as the Israeli side.
You know, as we look at the map, it is kind of a phased situation with the withdrawal and all these things that have to happen. There's a lot of pieces that are moving here, right?
Correct. Well, it has to be. It has to be because a new government is going to come in. And that will be, in large part, Palestinians governing Palestinians. And so that new government has a lot to do. They need to get a security force in there. And we were just upstairs, as a matter of fact, talking about this with a particular country as to whether they could handle the job. So I think you can't withdraw altogether until you get the security forces in there.
And so the difference is the buy-in, right? The buy-in from the Gulf states, the buy-in from the region.
Correct.
The pressure on Hamas.
Remember, this thing has been brewing for 75 years. I mean, no one could figure it out. And so I think it's sort of astonishing to many people that it could happen this fast. But that's what happens when you get President Trump bought into the fact that he wants to see a peace deal here. This is how efficiently it moves.
You want to put chances on it?
I'd say I'm very optimistic. That's what I would say. And I'm hopeful at the same time. I really am hopeful because I've met people on both sides, and this needs to end.
Russia, Ukraine, totally different situation, and we'll talk about that another time. We appreciate your time. Steve Witkoff, thanks so much.
Always my pleasure. Thank you.